writing a 5-paragraph essay. This is a common format for students who are learning to write essays. It's often taught in American high schools. But a 5-paragraph essay is really only useful for writing a couple of pages. In college classes, students are asked to write much longer essays, so a 5-paragraph essay won't do. It's necessary to learn to write longer essays. And to do this, you need to learn to write more body paragraphs in your essay. This was an example of an argument essay, and it had 5 paragraphs with 3 body paragraphs. Because it was an argument essay, each body paragraph was a reason that supported the thesis. Let's look at how we could make this a longer essay. To make this a longer essay, we're going to need to use different types of body paragraphs. One type of body paragraph that you can use is a cause and effect paragraph. Here's an example of a cause and effect paragraph. It follows the same structure that you've learned about writing body paragraphs before. It has a topic sentence shown in green, and it has 3 supporting ideas shown in red, and then a couple of details for each of the supporting ideas. In a cause and effect paragraph, you would have 3 causes or 3 effects. This one has 3 causes. And you should already know how to write this kind of paragraph. Another type of paragraph that you could use for a body paragraph is the compare-contrast, where you would compare things or you would contrast things. Here's an example of that. In this compare-contrast paragraph, the writer is contrasting high school and college. And just like with the cause and effect paragraph, the compare-contrast paragraph would have 3 supports with details and examples, all supporting a topic sentence. Here the writer gives 3 differences in the supporting ideas, and they are shown in red. So you should start to see that these paragraph types follow the same structure that you've already learned for body paragraphs. You need a topic sentence that supports the thesis, and you should have several supporting ideas. Then you should have several details and examples that are very specific and help develop the paragraph. That same structure is used for cause-effect, compare-contrast, illustration, which is sometimes called exemplification, argument paragraphs, and classification paragraphs. These 5 types all have a topic sentence with probably 3 supporting ideas and then details and examples for each of those supporting ideas. The structure of those paragraphs will all be the same. It's just a difference of whether your support is causes, or if your support is comparisons, or if your support is examples, like you would use in illustration. So the supports are different, but the structure for those 5 types are all the same. On the right side here, we have 3 other types of body paragraphs: description, narration, and process. Don't follow the exact same pattern. They're a little bit different. Description describes something, and so it doesn't usually have 3 supports. The structure of this kind of paragraph would be maybe geographical, describing a place from left to right or from top to bottom. Or it could describe a person, and if you were describing a person, you would be describing them maybe from their head to their toe. So the structure of this paragraph is a little bit different. Narration and process both use time order. In a narration, you're telling a story about something, and so you tell about the first thing, and then the second thing, and the third thing. It uses time order. Process also does that because you're telling how something happens or how it's done. And so you would tell the first step, the second step, the third step. That's a process. So those 3 types are a little bit different. But all of these types of body paragraphs can help you to write longer essays. You can use one of these types of paragraph in your argument essay to help develop your thesis statement. Let me show you how you would do this. Let's say we're outlining an argument essay. A typical 5-paragraph essay would have an outline like this. We have our thesis statement. College education in the U.S. should be free for everyone. That's our argument. And in a typical 5-paragraph essay, you would use 3 body paragraphs to support that thesis. So these are all 3 reasons that support my thesis statement for the argument essay. But if I want to write a longer essay, I can use other types of paragraphs. So let's take that first reason. Colleges should not be making a profit from students. Well, before I get to that, I might want to write a paragraph using narrative style, and I could write a narrative paragraph of background information. I might show how colleges started making a profit off of students. This background information would be helpful before I get to my first reason about colleges should not be making a profit from students. So that's one way I could add a different type of paragraph to help make my essay longer. Maybe before I make my third reason, I might want to add a paragraph comparing or contrasting. Because I'm arguing for American universities having free education for everyone, I might make a paragraph that contrasts other countries who do have free college education and who have better societies. I could show a contrast between those countries and the US. This would also help support my thesis, and it would add another body paragraph. So now I have 5 body paragraphs for my argument essay. I have my original 3 reasons, but I've added a narrative paragraph for background information, and I've added a comparison paragraph to show other countries and how they use free college to have a better society. All of these body paragraphs still support my thesis statement, and now I have a longer essay and it's more developed. So this is making it more academic, which is our goal. So when you write your next essay, try to go beyond the traditional 5-paragraph essay. Try having 6 or 7 paragraphs, and you'll do this by adding different types of body paragraphs. Every essay will be different, so you might not always be able to use a cause and effect paragraph or a description paragraph. So think about your topic and use the kind of paragraph that is most useful for that topic. I hope you'll work on making your essays longer and more academic. In the previous module, you started learning about using sources to make your essays more academic. You already learned that you need to integrate or blend the quotes into your own sentences, and that you need to use sources as your supporting ideas, not as topic sentences. In this module, you're going to learn about plagiarism, which is a mistake that people make when they don't use sources correctly. I'll show you what that is, and then I'll show you how to avoid it. Pay attention to the 4 different ways that I'm going to show you for how to use sources correctly. You're not going to write an essay in this module, but there's a lot to learn and practice. Have fun. In this lesson, you're going to learn what plagiarism is. Plagiarism is using someone else's words or ideas as your own. That can be done either on purpose or it can be accidental. If you use someone else's words or ideas for any reason, you're committing plagiarism. Let's look at an example. On the left side here, we have a source. This is from an article, and the student wants to use part of this in his essay. On the right side here, we have the student's writing. This is what the student put in his own paper and turned in for a grade. Take a minute and read and compare the two. Remember, pretending that someone else's words are yours is not okay. That's plagiarism. Let's look at how this student plagiarized. Compare the colored words here. On the left, I highlighted something that's blue, and on the right side, I made it pink to show you how the student changed a few words. Instead of starting with calling gun violence, the student started with because gun violence. He's trying to make his writing look different, but it's clear that he is copying from the source. Just because he changes a few words does not make this okay. He is plagiarizing because he took words and ideas and did not give credit to the original author. Look at this other example. Again, on the left we have an original source, and on the right we have the student's writing. Can you find some places where the student has plagiarized? Again, this student thought he could change a few words to make his writing look different. But it is clear that his writing is copied from the original source. He can change some words, but he needs to cite the source. And we can still find places in black where the student is using the exact same words as the original source, and the student doesn't put those words in quotation marks to show us that they're someone else's words. The student also does not tell us the name of the source. So this looks like those words are all the student's words. The student is pretending that all of these words are his because he didn't cite the source. So to summarize, remember the things that you cannot do. You cannot change some words to make it look different from the original source. You also cannot use the exact words from that source without putting quotation marks around them. And you cannot follow the same grammar as the original source. All of these things make plagiarism, which you don't want to do. So now you know what the problem is We need to talk about how you can avoid this so that you don't commit plagiarism in your writing.